Yeah. Why does this look like it's not level? Is that a little better? Tiny bit better? Microscopically better? Microscopically better? If you're thinking that that crazy motherfucker is drinking ice water out of a mug, you're thinking right. Because that's a fact. Episode 11. 11 episodes ago, there was no such thing as Enormous the Podcast. Look at us now. Living the high life. Scooting the chair. There we go. It's evening out. It's evening out. In this part of the world, the insects are in their area of small wilderness, shrieking as the sun sets. All is good. And I hope that wherever you are, whether you are in your company of heroes or enjoying a small piece of solitude, that you are well. If you're not well, then I hope. What up? How's it going?
Hi.
Hey, I'll be in a minute.
I know.
All right.
Daddy.
What?
I already had 15, so I have to do one more picture, and then it's 16.
Cool. Then you'll have 16. That's awesome, pal. All right, man. I'll talk to you in a bit.
Okay, sorry for interrupting.
No, you're cool. It's my boy. That whether you are surrounded by champions or in that delicious silence of loneliness, that you are well, and if you are not well, that tomorrow rises to find a turn in your luck or circumstance. This is episode 11 of Enormous the Podcast. Welcome to the tiny house that was built for my car, because that's where this is happening. So, the first thing, of course, that you're going to notice about me and the difference from last week is, holy shit, Baldwin's been through the crisper. Because look at these goddamn lines, bro. I got home and my fiance Jeannie said, "Oh, did you just get back in from the garden? You look so fresh." That's the level of what we're doing, man. That's how hard I go in the hair game. We don't even have a garden, and she forgot that for a minute. She went nuts for a minute because this shit is so on point. It's crazy. I'm trying to get my barber to watch this podcast. He doesn't know he's been shouted out like half a dozen times. That's funny. If you're in Topeka, Kansas, and you want the most pimpin' haircut of your lifetime, done by a great guy who's a good conversationalist, a great barber, and he's cool. Triple Edge Barbershop, Topeka, Kansas, the Brookwood Shopping Center on 29th Street. Look him up. He's the only barber I've used for 2.5 years. And never been happier. Today's episode of Enormous the Podcast is brought to you by Triple Edge Barbershop. They're involuntarily sponsoring this by giving me haircuts. I don't make money. They make money. I just have the great haircut. Works out for everybody. Anyways, goddamn. What the fuck are you doing still watching this anyway? So this past week, and I am not going to spend a lot of time talking about this. Most of the people are talking about this elsewhere. And the reason why I'm not talking about this isn't because I give a damn. It's the reason why I'm not talking about it is because I give a huge damn. But I also understand that we're comporting ourselves like idiots. I'm not going to be a part of it. I'm not going to be a part of a redundant conversation. And that is the slew of mass shootings that happened this week. A lot of people lost their lives unnecessarily. Once again. And the solution, or even possible solutions, are being ignored because people have a fear of this boogeyman. And the fear of the boogeyman is more important than people's actual lives. So, we continue to mire ourselves in violence and do nothing. Absolutely nothing. So I'm no longer shocked. I'm horrified, but I'm no longer shocked. It's kind of like when you have an older family member and you know that they're getting close to the day when they're going to pass, and then they pass. You're not shocked. You still grieve. You still don't like it, but you're not shocked. And that's the way I am with mass shootings in America. They're going to happen. It's a matter of when. I'm not shocked. I'm just waiting for the next one to happen. Anyways, also, if any of this offends you and you're gripping your various paperworks telling you that you have the right to do whatever, number one, go fuck yourself. Number two, my house is your house. Use the door. Bye. It's done. Moving on. Let me check my electronic notepad because I remembered that I have technology now. And let me tell you what the best thing ever is. Electronics. Solve the mystery for you. I read a news article. It's on my phone, which is coincidentally what I'm using to record this on. So I'm going to have to pull this from my dog shit memory. So, after a disrespectful drag on this little bud, by the way, it's not bud, it's tobacco. Oh shit. Just a tobacco cigarette. Nothing. This little pal, this little friend, this little assassin of hopes and dreams. This little child that's not a child because it costs a fuckload to keep up. There's your anti-smoking ad. Anti-smoking people. Enjoy that shit. News article. California. Apparently this person was like subletting rooms or doing something that was illegal, and the housing association caught him. Well, the neighbors, they snitched. And so the person, after this happened, God, this wiggles around in the most delightful way, doesn't it? The neighbors reported the person got busted or whatever and paid a fine. I don't know what the fuck, but then the person who was subletting the house or was the rooms or whatever, dog shit memory, this is it in real time, enjoy it. The train wreck is unfolding right now. Anyways, the owner of the house painted emojis on the side of their house. One was the emoji with a tongue hanging out, and the other one was emoji with a zipper mouth. And the neighbors who reported, allegedly, or at least some of the neighbors, felt like it was done as an act of revenge. Let us marinate on that for a couple of minutes. Revenge by emoji. There's a couple of things at play for me here. Number one, I was raised in the wilderness, so all technology is new to me. But I came out, I don't even know, I came out in 2011. Emojis were just barely a thing at that point. I'm staring 40 in the face, so I really, I was kind of too old for that whole thing, so I'm really bad. Obviously, if you've tried to follow me on social media, you know what a disaster that is. If you don't, do it. It's a train wreck that unfolds in slow motion. So emojis, to me, are just, that's kid shit. I don't do it. I just type sentences like an old man, as any old man would do, who also respects himself as an old man. But revenge by emoji? I mean, the zipper mouth thing is a little ominous, I guess. That's like maybe a teenage Italian mobster sort of message, but sticking the tongue out with the little winky face emoji. I don't know. But is that not the most California shit ever? Revenge by emoji? If it even was revenge. The person says they it wasn't. They were just being silly and goofy, of course. They're going to say that. They're not going to say, yeah, this is actually a secret death threat. Anywho, I do remember this. The most worthless little factoid of this whole news article, the painting was done by someone called Z the Art. That name sucks almost as much as Enormous the podcast. Z the Art, are you serious? Anyways, I'm calling out somebody I don't even know. And they're a good artist. I mean, the emojis look good. So now they're going after the lady for some kind of signage violation, graffiti or some shit. Anyway, it's happening on the West Coast, people. Passive-aggressive revenge by way of harmless graffiti. Get you some water in a mug. It's delicious. About, let me see here, 3 years ago? No, it's probably been more like 4 or 5 years ago. 4 or 5 years ago, I was fighting every single battle that could be fought on Facebook. If someone said something I disagreed with, then I took them to task over it. I have very strong feelings about pretty much everything. Well, not pretty much everything, but a lot of things. I care very strongly about the environment, about being an ally to my LGBT plus friends and family, racial issues, and all that. Care a lot about it. Right now, I'm in a bit of not knowing what to do because it seems like nothing really works. But at the time, I felt like the thing that I could do was just hound the shit out of whoever I disagreed with. If they posted something stupid on Facebook in support of Trump or what have you, it was go time. Since then, I've learned that those arguments is just a pointless waste of energy. Their minds don't change. My mind certainly doesn't change. And all that's been done is I walk away just feeling frustrated and angry. I was getting to the point where I was having to take a couple of like small vacations from Facebook because I was getting so emotionally wrought up that it was all I could think about, and I was just in this constant angry state. Decided not to do that. Now I don't fight on Facebook. I'll call a person out in real life. Calling them out on Facebook is as good as pissing up a rope. Which is also fun and productive if you've never done it. So, but during that time, the point of this whole story, or that whole story, is to tell you this whole story, and I hate cliches, but here we fucking are. I started, when someone would use really, really bad conservative logic, I would just comment hashtag flat earth, because I was comparing what they were saying to the stupidity of the flat earth conspiracy theory. And I did that for a while, and it was just a thing. That was just it was trolling them for sure. Petty and trolling. But also hilarious, as these things often are. So anyways, I like half-heartedly started this hashtag that went nowhere, and it was just something I did, and then it kind of became what I was doing on Facebook, was just posting flat earth stuff just to fuck with people. I carried that over into my current job and told a few people about it who thought it was the most hilarious thing ever. And for a while, I had it trending within the facility. People were writing it on various things and saying it to me, and it was kind of a fun deal, the whole flat earth thing. And it is funny. It is funny. It's funny. So today, as part of our conspiracy theory segment of this, where we're discussing, I'm not especially debunking it per se, but just having a little chuckle. We're doing it for chucks, man. We're doing this for chucks, talking about conspiracy theory, and today, hashtag flat earth, we're getting it popping. So, just a couple of things right off the bat here. Conspiracy theory and conspiracy theorists and people that are involving themselves in this way of thinking, if I may be so liberal, it's growing. I think between the year of 2009 and 2012 or 13, somewhere in there, like the Flat Earth Society was growing by 200 members globally per year. It is growing exponentially more than that now. So there's a lot of stupid people, and they're getting together and they're making stupid forts, and they have entrenchments, and they're digging in, and now they have a giant bastion of stupidity that they're hiding behind, and there's a lot of them. Flat Earth being one of these topics, and that I've seen most in media and so forth. So it's a growing community. If you've never heard of Flat Earth, then you haven't probably been alive. If you're watching this and you haven't heard of Flat Earth, what the fuck have you done with your life? Because as archaic, outmoded, and anti everything that as I am, and I know about it, dude, what's going on? Flat Earth is, the Earth is flat. It's a disc that's flat, and around the ring, the outside, is this ice wall. And that keeps people from falling off, and that keeps the ocean from running out and dripping off into space. And the ice wall is protected by NASA for money. That's what I know right now. And in fact, no one can really say how NASA gets money from this. But the theory goes that they're getting all this funding for a space program and then faking the space program and keeping all the money for themselves, which isn't a bad racket. I'm with it. What up? So, here. Oh, nothing. Carry on. So, NASA has been faking the program, and there's all kinds of really, really convoluted thinking. Yeah, the hinges need oil. What, do you think I can do everything all at once? Man, come on now. I know the door's squeaky. So that's the Earth. And so what they say is GPS systems don't actually tell you where you are in a three-dimensional spherical shape. They just send the pilot in a circle till they get to their destination. Because why not? Because that's fucking hilarious to send a pilot in a circle and then tell them that the world looks more like an orange. At any rate, the electronic notebook, our digital friend, dude, they got some wild ass stuff on here. Now, the Earth is flat, but the sun and moon are spheroids, but they're saying approximately 32 miles, and they move in circles. They work like a spotlight, so they just go like this around. But they're spheres that work like a spotlight. So imagine that you have a basketball that's glowing. It can be on fire if that makes it cooler. But the only light that it gives is straight down on the Earth. And then that moves in a circle, mirroring the circumference, parallel to the circumference. That's how we get our light. Now, here's the deal. Gravity is also a lie. And here's how we stay on the Earth. This is wild. The Earth being propelled by a mysterious force called dark energy, that's on here. I didn't make it up. Dark energy pushing, going up. And that goes up at the, I don't know if, I think it's the gravitational constant. Shit, hang on, let me see what they're saying here. 9.8 meters per second squared, which would be the rate of acceleration if you drop things accelerated at 9.2, was it? I thought it was 9. Yeah, it's not. No, it's 9.8. 9.8 meters a second, which is the rate of acceleration, the gravitational constant. Whatever. I'm kind of in deep waters here, so I don't know exactly what I'm talking about. If any of you are physicists out there laughing at me, I'm glad I could entertain. But the Earth is moving through space that fast, being propelled by dark energy, essentially like a rocket ship. Now, what do we know about the bottom of the flat Earth? What makes it up? According to this article, let me see here. Can I get a quote from that? Damn it. I took a screenshot and I cut the fucking thing off. But anyway, it's rocks. Now, there are some theories, some older theories, that it's a giant tortoise, and the tortoise sits on, it sits on 4 elephants, 4 enormous space elephants, and that sits on the back of an enormous cosmic turtle. But whatever the case, we're going up at the gravitational constant, propelled by dark energy. And so, because gravity's a lie, doesn't work. So it's the force of going up that's holding us down. You get it? Yeah. Here's what I wanted to read. I found it because I'm an idiot. Wow. As for what lies underneath the disk of the Earth, this is unknown, but most flat earthers believe it is composed of, and I quote, rocks. God. So good. So good. Also, one thing back on the celestial bodies, the little spheroids that are the sun being 32 miles across and the moon also being roughly 32 miles across, that eclipses happen by what is called the anti-moon. Now, this article doesn't explain what the anti-moon is, but there is very definitely some more research in order for to see what this anti-moon is all about. Anti-moon might be my favorite thing right now in the whole world. It's better than, say, iced water in a mug. And we all know how yummy that is. So, real quick, we'll run these proofs down, man. And some of these proofs are fucking awesome. Okay, my favorite one. This is my favorite one, and we'll see how much time we got left. We might do more. We might do another segment another time. Who knows? The flat earth is endless, dude. This is from a flat earth article. I don't know who it's by. I don't give a shit. So the credit goes to them. I didn't write this. They did. The I don't give a shit people. If we were living on a spinning globe, airplanes would constantly have to dip their noses down every few minutes to compensate for the curvature of the Earth. If you want these numbers, here they are. With a circumference of 25,000 miles, the Earth would be constantly curving at the speed of an airplane. There's my neighbors, dude. And their car sounds like an attack vehicle, but it's just a Subaru, don't worry. In reality, however, they never do this. They learn how to fly based on a level, flat plane. Also, if the Earth was spinning, the airplanes going west would get to their destination much faster since the Earth is spinning the opposite direction. If the atmosphere is spinning with the Earth, then airplanes flying west would have to fly faster than the Earth's spin to reach its destination. You see, if the atmosphere was moving this way, that fast, they would have to fly faster than the Earth's rotation this way. It makes sense, no? Where was I? Shit. In reality, the Earth is flat and airplanes just fly level to reach their destination easily because the Earth is not moving. That's the quote. They can't do it because it's not. But yeah, man, think about the atmosphere, dude. If the atmosphere is going this way, how are you going to fly this way unless you're flying faster? It'd be like trying to swim upriver. It doesn't work unless you swim faster than the river current. This part is what we're using here. Anyways, this is out of hand. This is out of control. We're officially off chains. Anyway, this has been a super long episode, but I've had a couple of shit weeks, so this is cool. At any rate, man, we'll consider that an introduction to the flat Earth. And maybe next week we can get into some more proofs. Don't know what was going on earlier there with my mouth, but it wasn't working how I needed to. Anyway, we'll continue that because there's a whole bunch more stuff. It's super good. It's super good. And people, here's the thing. People legitimately are believing this, and they're calling themselves skeptics. I'm 110% on board with being a skeptic. However, being a skeptic doesn't necessitate also being an idiot. And that's what we're seeing there. But these people like sincerely believe it. And I think it's weird. It's really weird. A lot of this justification, and I can get into this next week if people want me to, a lot of this justification comes from taking the Bible literally. Now, I'm not calling out Christians. I don't have a problem. If you're Christian, cool. It's whatever. However, conspiracy theorists, in terms of atheism and Christianity, people with a strong literal Bible belief or a Christian faith in the conspiracy theory community Vastly, 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 vastly outnumber atheists. I've actually looked for atheists who are also conspiracy theorists, and I'm having trouble finding them. So I'm sure they exist. It's just a matter of tracking it down, but the numbers are very different. Anyways, none of that's important. I don't even know why I'm talking about it. Shit. So, I've tormented you now with a half an hour of bullshit. And if you've watched the whole thing, you have the endurance of a gazelle. Don't take that lightly. Just because gazelles are weird looking, and there's people that look like gazelles, and they're weird looking, and they might actually be secret goats. We don't know. It's still a good thing. I deeply appreciate you. I love having you here. I really enjoyed doing this. I've had a great time doing this episode. Let me know. The comment section of my YouTube channel is a dearth of comments. Although, to correct myself somewhat, the past couple of weeks, it's been much more lively. I appreciate that. I thank you all. Like and subscribe. Comment, question. Let me know what the fuck is up. Or don't. It's all good. Live your life. If I'm a part of that, I'm honored. We're good. I was going to say something, and guess what flew out of my mind? That thought, it must have been a lie. That was my grandmother's reasoning. Must have been a lie. Shout out to my mom for providing the cup for this episode. Every Christmas I get a mug. My kids get awesome shit like Legos, and I get mugs. But I use mugs. So, shout out to my mom. Shout out to my grandma for the devil is a lie, leaving my head. I'm gone.